Even if you tried, you wouldn't understand it. Maybe something's missing inside of you. Just a bit of sugar to that heart.
Slayers, it's your girl Nami Slay, and welcome back to my channel where we discuss all things beauty and business. Just gonna jump right back in here. I know it has been a while since I have posted a video, but when I tell you guys so much has happened since my last video, I probably have to do like a whole series on it. But side note, I currently own the salon that I was renting a small studio inside. Now I own the whole thing. What? And it was really unexpected how everything came about. That's kind of the reason for my little hiatus, but we'll get into that at another time. Anyway, as I said, I actually own an entire salon now, and it's huge. I'm actually gonna do a virtual tour in another video for you guys, but yes. Now, the main thing I will say about owning a salon is do your research. So I never actually planned on owning a salon, and it was primarily because I had done the research. I realized it was a lot of work. And by a lot of work, I mean like so much little things and back office things that go into running a full salon. It's a little bit different from owning a whole private suite by yourself. There's a lot more things that you have to factor in. It's about a 2,300 square foot salon, so it's huge. My little suite was probably about maybe 600 square feet, about the size of your average sola or, you know, salon suite. Due to unforeseen circumstances, the guy came to me and was like, hey, would you be interested in buying me out? And I was like, hell no, because I had no plans on owning a salon at that time. I always wanted a mobile salon. Still gonna do that though. Long story short, I was talking with my dad. I ran the numbers with him, and because I do hair, I do nails, and I also at that time was starting to branch off more into aesthetics. When me and my father were running the numbers, we came up with the idea that it would actually be more cost effective for me to buy the salon as opposed to going to 3 separate places to do all of my work. I live in a very, it's not a small town, but it's not like a great big urban city. Despite the cars and stuff you see, I have a loft, so it's not that industrialized. Here, they don't have really anywhere where you can do all of that in one place. You can either do hair at one place, but you can't do nails, or you can do nails, but you can't do hair, or you can do nails and hair, but there's nowhere for you to do facials and skin. So by the time I factored it out, I would be paying a couple $1,000s a month in booth rent, and it just did not, it wasn't feasible. At least with me taking over the salon, I'm able to recoup some of my costs back by renting it out to other people as well. And so I did. And so we're gonna get to the pros, and then we're gonna get to the cons. So commission-based salons, they actually have the potential to make quite a bit of money. They are taking a percentage off of every single client that someone gets in. However, they also have to foot the bill for things like insurance. Somebody doesn't get a client, they still have to pay them whatever the minimum hourly wage is, and they have to have employees, and there's a whole list of things that go along with having employees. I chose to do booth rent because I didn't want to deal with that. Booth rent is very simple for a salon owner because no matter what, you still get paid. Depending on how many booth renters that you have, you factor that in along with how much it costs to run the salon, i.e. lights, water, rent, that sort of thing, supplies, toilet tissue, that's another thing. You will not believe how much paper towels and tissue you can run through in a salon. It's mind-boggling. So I literally have a paper towel and tissue budget, but I digress. As a booth rent salon, you do not have to deal with things like insurance, payroll, everything comes into you. You get your booth rent regardless if they have a client or not, you still have your booth rent. One thing I will say that I learned fairly quickly is to make sure you have contracts. By contracts, I'm not meaning like, just to lock somebody in and be like, oh, you can't go nowhere. Contracts actually work both ways. Make the contract to where it's beneficial to the salon and also to the booth renter. No matter what, they don't have to worry about, them coming to work and the lights being off, or because you woke up on the wrong side of the bed this morning, I don't want you in my salon. Like, I would never do that, but you don't have to go through those types of changes. Also, from a salon standpoint, contracts keep you to where you know exactly how much money you're gonna be bringing bringing in. I do a 30-day probationary period, and that's just to see if I like them and they like us and the rest of my staff. Energy is so important to me and the rest of my staff. So that 30 days, I don't even have a contract on them. I'm like, look, I want you to see if you like it here. If we like you here, one bad apple spoils the bunch. I do the 30-day probationary period. After that, they sign a 90-day contract. So that gives them time to, one, build clientele, know that they're gonna have a safe place to come to work, a good environment, and also for me to see kind of how they work on a consistent basis. After their 90 days is up, they have the option to renew their contract, or I have the option to renew their contract if I like them. And they can go to a 6-month contract after they actually have my booth renters. Their contracts are coming up this week. So when I'm finished with this video, I will have to go and do that as well. List of other things that you have to do when you own a salon. Your work does not just stop. And I still do all of my regular clients on top of all these new responsibilities that I have. I'm still doing clients every day, all day, which is crazy, but I love it. Because everybody's independent contractors, I know a lot of times they try not to do a whole lot of paperwork, but I am telling you, you need to get contracts, okay? Contracts are gonna be your best friend. They're gonna be your booth renters' best friends. Every week that my booth renters pay their booth rent, or every month, I have some that are on monthly, I give them a receipt. What that does is allows them to write that off on their taxes, but it also keeps a record for me so I know exactly how much revenue the salon is generating, because I do plan on expanding. Future goals are to open up a med spa, but we'll talk about that in another video. Another thing I would recommend when you are considering opening a booth rent salon is quality of staff. You really want to vet the people that you have coming to work for you. Another thing I would recommend, you have to decide if you want to be a barbershop, you want to be a salon, or you want to be both. My salon is actually a salon and spa. We do aesthetic services, but we also do hair, and I do have a licensed barber on staff. You got to get licenses through all of those boards. I don't know about where everybody else lives, but in Arkansas, they have 2 separate boards. So you got to get your licenses through both of the boards. They do different inspections for both of the boards. Now, sanitation is going to be huge, but when you are a booth rental salon, even though everybody in there is independent contractors, you are still liable if they are not following state board regulations. Let me say that again. Even if you are renting booths to independent contractors, you are still liable for any violations that they incur while at your salon. Meaning, if they are not cleaning and sanitizing their utensils, if they are not changing capes, if they are not sweeping up, all of those things, even though, you know, they're their own entity, because they are in your facility, you will get a fine. They will get a fine. And everybody gets a fine. You get a fine, you get a fine, you get a fine, everybody gets a fine. So keep that in mind, that even though it is less responsibility when you're running a booth rent salon, it still is some responsibility. As far as like safety goes, because of COVID, we kind of work on a turnkey system. So we have varying hours. Everyone has their own key. I would recommend that you get at least video cameras. I have a video camera system where I can look at the salon via my app, that sort of thing. I always try to tell at least the girls in the salon to leave out with their last client of the day. If the sun is down, they are not to leave the facility by themselves. Like, at all. Now, my mother, God bless her heart, when I told her I was taking over the salon, she was very excited, but she was a little worried because, you know, me leaving out so late by myself or anyone else. When I tell you my mother took me to the gun range and stood over me while I purchased my firearm that I had never fired before in my life, like, she literally stood over me. Side note, this has nothing to do with the salon. Unless you're at a gun trade show, you have to have a state issued ID in order to purchase a firearm. So all I had was my passport that day, and I was like, oh, you know, it's fine. I'll just come back tomorrow and do it. And my mom was like, but she can pay for it now. Give him your card, honey. Give the man your card and pay for the gun. Come back tomorrow and pick it up. So I do carry a firearm at the salon. Also, my barber, he is licensed to carry as well. With this being a cash industry, you don't want to leave the salon with several $100s on you and get knocked over in the parking lot. You want to be overly cautious with yourself and your staff, and make sure that they have that in the back of their mind, like, hey, at all times, I need to be vigilant. I tell my girls that if they have to leave everything there, just come back in the morning and clean up. That's fine. But I said all that to say that's the only time that your salon should, you know, be left unclean. It's when it's a safety thing and they have to leave with the last client of the day. The next thing I would say, I wish I would have known, is marketing. The majority of my job is marketing. That's one thing they don't teach you in school. There's a lot of stuff they don't teach you in school. You want to make sure that your salon or barbershop pulls up in Google. It's free. It's a little time consuming. Get on YouTube. There's lots of videos to show you how to do it, to make sure that your salon is listed. It needs to be the very first thing you do. You also want to make sure you get yourself a website. Even if it's just a landing page with a few pictures here and there, get yourself a website, because that is going to be so beneficial in drawing customers to your salon. My salon is in a really great location. We get like over 8,000 people that pass us every single day. However, I've still had to take extra steps to drive more traffic into our salon. And this was something I didn't think was really important. I just bought them on a whim. Flagpoles. You stick them in the ground with a little hammer. They say hair salon, haircuts, waxing, this sort of thing, and they flap in the wind. But it catches people's attention and it draws them into your salon. They've probably been one of the most beneficial marketing tools that I have outside of social media. So once you get people coming into your salon, you want to try to keep them in there, and that goes to customer retention, which I'll probably do a video on that as well. But my biggest thing is marketing. Get yourself a good website and boost your social media presence. And what I've noticed is, even if people aren't like hitting like on your post the same things on your stories and you'll see the views. So people are seeing it even if they're not interacting with it. Trust me, people are seeing your work. Consistency is the name of the game. Consistency is the name of the game. Okay. I think we've covered just about everything that I would say. You told me before opening up a Booth Rental Salon. I'm not gonna lie, I really love it. I'm not gonna lie, I sing on the way to work. Completely changed my entire lifestyle. I have a brand new apartment, which I absolutely love. Really good. And again, I'm sorry you guys that it took so long to get another video out to y'all, but as you've just heard, my life has been whew. Until next time, you guys, peace, love, and namaste.
I'm somewhere in the middle.